coming up tonight on Primetime Local News. An all-candidates forum is held for the provincial election. And more on the Lloydminster Bandits' stellar season. Plus an update from Startup Lloydminster to City Council.
Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello and welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Callan Dunlop. Thanks for joining us. The fire chief for the City of Lloydminster has handed in his resignation. City administration confirms that Aaron Buckingham has resigned from the position. Buckingham was hired for the job in October of last year. The city says they are committed to respecting the privacy and confidentiality of their employees, and no additional information will be provided. An all-candidates forum for the Saskatchewan election was held in Lloydminster last night. Our Lane Hoffert spoke to each of the candidates about their goals as well as the advantages they have going into the election.
3 of the 4 candidates running to be the MLA for Lloydminster in the Saskatchewan election were at the Lloyd X last night for an all-candidates forum. The candidates present were Colleen Young of the Saskatchewan Party, Adam Tremblay of the NDP, and Joshua Bloom of the Saskatchewan United Party. Each candidate has their own goals for what they want to accomplish if elected to serve as the MLA for the Lloydminster riding.
Been a strong leader and a volunteer in my community and an advocate for the people of the Lloydminster constituency. It isn't just Lloydminster, it serves lots of rural areas all the way up to Pierceland, and I know the many issues that, even that were brought forward and discussed tonight are still things that need to be worked on and advocated for the community here.
I'm really excited about our investment in education. It's a generational investment of $2 billion. I saw the adulation on my staff's faces when I got to a little cheekily tell them hey, by the way, this is what the announcement today is going to be, and to see their faces light up because the idea of help finally coming was so important to them. But the same thing goes for delivering on our promises in healthcare.
The first one is protect our oil and gas and our agriculture. There's a movement, the 2050 net zero agenda, and that would cripple all of our economy. And our economy here in Lloydminster is built on oil and gas and on agriculture. So I want to protect that. That's why I'm here. I work in oil and gas, so I understand how important it is.
Each of the candidates running to be the MLA representing the Lloydminster riding have a unique background that they believe will help them in serving the constituency if elected.
I think just having the connections within government in order to be able to advocate for the communities that I have served, as well as, being able to direct people to where the services are within government that they may need to access has been an advantage for me as well. But I think the biggest part is, getting to know your communities, getting to know your people, hearing their issues and concerns and trying to find ways to address them.
Well, teachers, we know how to get things done, especially when we don't have enough resources to do it. And that's been what it's been for the last 10 years for me as a teacher. So I'm ready to hit the ground running and do as much work as humanly possible because that's what I already do now as a teacher. So I do think I have a little bit of an advantage, and I have youth on my side. I'm ready to take on any challenge because I want to get problems solved for the people in this riding and for everyone else in Saskatchewan as well.
Lloydminster, it's a bigger area, but it is the same thing. It's built on a small community of people that volunteered, and they wanted to build a better community. And that's what I grew up with, that's what I know, and we want to make this a better place. And I believe that the people of Lloydminster want that too, that we want to feel safe on our streets, that we want to be able to get to the doctor when you try to go. And that's what I'm here to do, is try and help facilitate that for these people, for the people of the area. So.
Also running to serve as MLA for Lloydminster is Patrick McNally of the Saskatchewan Green Party, who is not present at the all-candidates forum. Lane Hoffert, Primetime Local News.
Startup Lloydminster, an organization designed to support local businesses, updated City Council on their 2024 year. The year in review for the organization was positive after the city renewed a 3-year contract in December of last year, allowing Startup to continue their operations.
Startup Lloydminster is an organization that provides new businesses or existing businesses with business support that you wouldn't often find directly off the street. They connect people. We have mentors in our community that are willing to mentor new and young business and entrepreneurs so that they don't step on those same holes that many people do in business.
Lloydminster hopes that past this provincial election, Saskatchewan will be more inclined to support the organization moving forward.
We're excited to see the startup continue on. Certainly it's always concerning because they receive funding from the provincial government of Alberta, something we'll be taking up with the new government of Saskatchewan after the election on the 28th of October. Is will they consider supporting this, because their work doesn't stop at the border, as our city doesn't stop at the border.
The City of Lloyd's current 3-year contract is worth $115,000 annually. To celebrate over 100 years of service and as a thank you to its members, the Lloydminster and District Co-op held a contest over the course of 6 weeks, where 12 lucky co-op members won a prize. The final prize being a brand new truck, which was drawn last night.
We knew it was our 110th year coming up, and we wanted to do something big. We wanted to give something back, and you know, our members have been so loyal to us over the years, 110 years legacy company, and so we put it into our budget and our plan, and it just made sense to do a giveaway and thank our members, our customers that support us.
The winner of the brand new truck was in disbelief over his name being drawn.
I actually feel like I'm still kind of in a dream of some kind. It's kind of surreal, actually. I'm just kind of weak at the knees right now.
The purpose of this contest was to simply give back to its loyal members for supporting the co-op for over a century.
It means so much to give back to the community that supported us so well, to make our co-op vibrant and so healthy today for 110 years. You know, just to give back, be a heritage brand that we are, it means so much to us. So we're just thankful to give back.
It is quite windy in the border city. That's the only thing I could say about it. It is cold.
Absolutely, yeah, that wind blowing pretty high today. It's getting to those 40-kilometer-an-hour numbers. You really want to hold on to your hat. I was wearing a top hat, kind of Monopoly style, and it just blew right off as I was coming in. So, yeah, windier day, a little bit of clouds, but overall, you know, a little cooler, but, you know, that's what we expect in the fall. And
it is mid-October.
Sky, you know, blue skies out and the sun is shining, but yeah, 43-kilometer-an-hour winds. So yeah, definitely you want to hold on to your hats there. It's feeling like 6 degrees outside, but overall a beautiful day in Lloydminster. Throughout the region we can see, well, we can't see. Oh, throughout the region we're having some technical difficulties, but throughout the region temperatures are about the same. You can see Cold Lake 9 degrees, as well as Bonnyville and Edmonton and Vermilion. Marwayne 10 degrees, Wainwright 11 degrees, Provost 12, Lac La Biche and St. Paul both 8 degrees, and Vegreville 7. Over in Saskatchewan, it's a little bit warmer, but still in that same sort of area for the temperatures. Isle La Crosse 10 degrees, as well as Green Lake, Meadow Lake, St. Walburg and Maidstone. Pierceland 9 degrees, Macklin 13 degrees, and North Battleford is 11 degrees. Tonight in North Battleford, it's going to get down to 1 degree, but it will be a clear night out and certainly not as windy as it is here in Lloydminster. Just 15 kilometers an hour, so about a third of what we're experiencing here. Now, tomorrow in North Battleford, 13 degrees and plenty of sunshine. A beautiful day out, especially in October here. 13-kilometer-an-hour wind, so still not as windy as it is today here in Lloydminster. Tonight in Cold Lake, it's going to drop below 0. It's going to get to -1. It'll be breezy in the evening. Otherwise clear, 19-kilometer-an-hour winds, so approaching 20. Still only about half as fast as we have it here in Lloyd. Very windy day. I can't emphasize that enough. Cold Lake will be turning cloudier tomorrow. 11 degrees is the high with the 13-kilometer-an-hour winds. Now, tonight's forecast in Lloydminster, it's going to get down to -1. It will be breezy in the evening, otherwise partly cloudy. That wind is going to die down to a 19 kilometers an hour. A little bit of clouds you can see there tonight, and a little bit cooler, maybe getting some frost on those car windows. Now tomorrow in Lloydminster at 6 a.m. it's going to be mostly clear and 0. It's going to get up to 7 at noon, mostly cloudy day. 6 p.m. you can see the clouds will take over there. It'll actually get a little bit warmer though at 9 degrees. And at midnight it will be mostly clear with a high there of 4 degrees, or a low I guess. And the 3-day forecast here in Lloydminster. Tomorrow will be breezy in the morning with a high of 12 and a low of 1. Saturday will be mild with variable cloudiness with a high of 16. And Sunday we got a 40% chance of a shower at 10 degrees. We'll have more news after the break.
.350 Farms near Cold Lake has turned the forest on their property into haunted woods, leading up to Halloween. Stacy Comer has more on how you can enjoy this spooky setting.
Well, it is the spooky season, and there's a really great opportunity to check out 350 Farms near Cold Lake because their haunted woods is open right now, and some very exciting events planned for that. Casey Marshall from 350 Farms is joining me now. Casey, thanks for chatting with me today.
Oh, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Well, let's talk about the haunted woods. It just sounds so spooky. And I know there are specific events, including tomorrow, Friday. We have an event that there's some tickets available for. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so our haunted woods, we have different theme nights. Tomorrow night specifically is what we call flashlight night. This is where your party gets one flashlight between all of you, and you get to navigate the woods with a flashlight. It's a little bit different as far as how the actors are going to scare you and what they do, because obviously they can't hide from your flashlight. So it's a little bit different of a vibe than our other nights that we do for the remainder of the season.
All right, and then what's planned for Saturday this weekend?
So Saturday is one of our regular entry nights, and when you kind of come to the Haunted Woods, I think the first thing that people should know is that we are a family-friendly venue. We do not aim to be super gory or super, we're not into horror, things like that. So this is something that you're coming to have good old family type fun. It makes an awesome date night. You really find out what your date's made of. Your kids can come in. We always say, use your discretion, but we have kids as young as 4 come in that are super into Halloween. But mostly we see school age children from 8, 9 and above come with their families. It is in the evenings, it is at night, it is getting colder here in Alberta. So we do recommend everyone dresses for the weather. It is quite popular. So we do have a little bit of a wait to get in, because once you're in a haunted woods, we want you to feel like you are one of the only people that are in there. And so we don't overcrowd the trails and things like that. So it's a very intimate experience once you're in there.
Tell me a little bit about what happens when people enter these woods. I know you do say it's family friendly, but you still want to keep them a little bit on edge too. So tell me what it's like going through, because it's a large property too.
Yeah, so this is the Haunted Woods is set up on a little over 1 kilometer of our private trail system that we have here. And when you come into the property, you will enter in, and it's kind of you have to imagine we're a farm. So this is a low light. We do a lot of lighting by candlelight with flameless candles, a lot of solar lighting. So you do be prepared for a very dim environment that kind of sets the mood. When you enter into the Haunted Woods, you're really going through a story. You're trying to find, the safe space, the way out. You're going to go through cemeteries, a pet cemetery. You're going to go through an abandoned playground. You're going to go through some abandoned house scenes. You have some decision points along the way too. You can exit early, or you can proceed to what we call the Shadow Void. And that is our new maze for this year, which is a definite hit. And we are looking to expand that. And then from there, you can go to the Apothecary. And then you end up some more decision points. You can go into the abyss, or you can go back to safety. So there's, a lot of fun to be had. It's not just let's follow it through and we come to the end. You really get to choose your own adventure and how you and your party are feeling.
And if you can't make it this weekend, Casey, there is one more weekend you guys will have next Friday and Saturday as well. And that is basically going to wrap up after that. So tell me what is planned for the weekend following this one.
Yeah, so next weekend on Friday night is an adult only night. This is an 18+ night. we still don't have any touching or different things, but the way the actors will scare people on adult only night is a little bit different than with children. There is no option for glow sticks on an adult only night, so they are going to give it their maximum effort. And then our finale night on Saturday, this is where we really kind of pull out all the stops. The actors are dialed in to how and when they like to scare people, and it's just a really fun time all around with that.
So how many actors do you have involved with this roughly, Casey? And are they from the Cold Lake area?
Yeah, on any given night, there is 10 to 15 actors out there in the woods at various points, and they also move. So this isn't, they don't just go and scare someone and get back in their spot. They actually move around. So you, even if you go through multiple times, you're never going to get the same experience twice. And they are from the local area. We do employ a lot of teenagers from some of the local schools, and then some other folks that come and want to. We have some people that work for some really well known that you guys would know agencies and organizations in the community. People just love Halloween and they come and work for us. And so we do employ everybody. We don't do any volunteers because part of what we do at 350 Farms is really that economic development. And we want to make sure that anything that we develop or that people are going to continue to develop are viable for the future and keeping our rural communities going.
Casey, this sounds like an amazing experience, especially for those who really want to get into the Halloween spirit. If anybody would like to buy tickets for the next couple weekends before you close the woods up for another year, where can they find those?
Yeah, so all the tickets are done on our website. It is www.350farms.ca/haunted woods. You can also find the links on our Facebook page at 350 Farms, and lots of other information about what to expect, wait times, bathrooms, if you can get beverages or food, all those types of details.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Casey. And we really appreciate you guys doing this. It's a great feature to have for this time of year. So good luck with the next couple of weekends, and we'll chat again soon.
No, thank you.
350 Farms has given Primetime Local News 2 pairs of tickets to give away to attend any of the Haunted Woods events over the next 2 weekends. To enter, go to the Haunted Woods ticket giveaway post on our Stingray Pets and Weather Facebook page. But now let's take a look at your agriculture prices for today. The Lloydminster Classic Oilfield Bandits have had a hot start to their 2024 season. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
The Bandits have started their regular season a perfect 5-0 and sit atop the standings in the NEA JBHL.
The biggest thing, I think, is the group of guys we have. We have a lot of guys returning from last year. We're a very tight group, and we believe in ourselves.
Part of what makes the Bandits such a tight group is their veteran leadership group, including their captain Joel Webb, who is honored to be leading the team.
It's an honor to have this role. I mean, we've got a heck of a group in that room, and I love leading them into battle every night. And I learned last year some of the more vocal roles I'm going to have to take on, and I'm just going to try to build on that this year and really try to buy everybody in.
One new thing about the Bandits this year is a new head coach, as Josh Dudding will be running the bench for the 2024-25 season.
I've been a part of the Bandits here for this being my third year. Assistant coach for the first 2 years. Was lucky enough to come up under Jason Ross and Lenny Young, who both stepped away in the last year. So the opportunity came my way, and honestly, with the group of guys that we had and the group of guys we had coming up, it was something that I definitely couldn't pass up the opportunity.
And Dudding has done very well with the players to start the season.
Well, I think our coach is doing a great job of letting us have a bunch of creativity. I mean, we've got our structure, we've got our X's and O's, but everybody's got the freedom to add some spice to it. We've got so much skill on our team that anybody can kind of fill any hole.
The Bandits will next head southwest for a game against the Killam Wheat Kings. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.
If you own a digital camera and have wondered how to use it properly, there is a workshop coming up in Lloydminster where you can do just that. Stacey Comer has more.
I'm happy to be joined today on Primetime Local News by a familiar face. A lot of people will probably know you. Greg Johnson, also known as the Tornado Hunter. Greg, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, luckily today we're not talking about a tornado or anything destructive. We're chatting about you coming to Lloydminster here October 26th and 27th for a camera workshop. So Greg, tell me, if people sign up for this, what can they learn?
Well, really, this is a workshop designed to teach people how to use their, fancy digital camera. We live in a world these days where everyone's, carrying around a phone with a great camera on it, and I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I just pull out my phone and I take a picture, and that's all well and good, but it turns out that your camera can actually take better photos than your phone can. And the problem with our cameras is that they're kind of confusing, hard to understand, and people take it out of the box and they go, "Oh my God, there's a lot to this thing." Well, I'm going to spend 2 days in Lloyd and teach people how to use that camera.
And I think it is intimidating too, Greg, when you look at these cameras because they can do so much and they come with these thick manuals. And it's
Yeah.
like, how am I ever going to understand that? You figure out the basics and then, oh, I'm taking a good few couple pictures. That's it. But as you
Yeah.
said, they can do so much more. So, in essence, you're taking that big manual and making it so people can understand.
Yeah, in fact, we don't even get into the manual. What I
Mhm.
what I what I do is I break down how the camera works and spend a few minutes doing that, and then we just get into actually shooting and understanding why some photos turn out good, why some turn out not so good, and how to take photos of. For example, I mean, across this entire country, really around the world, over the last few weeks, we've seen these incredible auroras, these incredible night skies. And how do we get a picture of that and really make it pop and make people look at your photos and go, "Wow, that's so cool." And that's my goal, is to show people how the actual camera works to get the best results.
Now, these are 2 day workshop, Greg, 2 day workshops, Greg. So when you sign up, are you signing up for 2 days or are these two separate workshops?
No, it's one workshop. It's 2 days long, and I kind of guarantee for people that they're going to come out of there going, "Wow, that was awesome!" And my goal is always the same. I want to entertain people. I want to educate them, and most importantly, I kind of want to inspire them to get out and shoot and see the world and get outside. And that's what I do for a living, chasing storms and photographing weather phenomenon all over the place. And I also get to travel to places like Africa and up north to the Yukon and Nunavut and all these really interesting places with my camera. And I've always believed that anyone can take great photos. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. And so, if we can give people those tools, they're just going to fall in love with the hobby.
If people do sign up for these workshops, what do they have to bring with them?
A camera, and that's about it. A charged battery and a card in the camera. And a lot of people are rocking cameras that are sitting in a closet in their house. Maybe they've tried it out a few times and they say things like, "Oh my God, I can take just as good of a photo on my phone and I don't have to worry about hauling this big camera around." But as I said, I know we can get better photos than what we can get on our phone.
And is there a certain age that the cameras have to be? If it's an older digital camera, does that matter? Do they have to all be DSLRs, or how can you figure out, I guess, if the camera you have in your closet is one that can be used for this workshop?
I always say to people, don't go buy something for the workshop. Use the one that you already have. And the reason is that you may realize and may pick up some stuff in the workshop where you go, "Oh, now when I go to make my purchasing decision, when I go down to the store, I'll know exactly what it is I'm looking for," rather than going and getting something and then getting to, "Oh man, I shouldn't have bought this," kind of thing. But we can cover all of that on that weekend as well. And only have a few seats left. I've had a real good response in Lloyd every time I've ever been there, and I've been to Lloyd, probably 6 times in the past. So we've got a good following up in that area of the province.
Well, I know we see your photos and you are in the middle of tornadoes and you're taking these amazing pictures. Most of the people taking this shop or the workshop will not be doing that. But as you mentioned, there's the aurora and a lot of people are fascinated, even snowstorms and snowflakes and things like that. They'll want to get close-ups. And so do you kind of go through all that if you've got some, people that are really obsessed with weather and they want to learn how to take better photos, even of things not as exciting as the tornadoes that you chase?
Well, yeah, the thing is about the camera is, believe it or not, and I better watch what I say here, but it's all math. Cameras are math, and when you understand the math, there's really nothing that you can't shoot. So whether you want to go out and shoot aurora, you want to photograph tornadoes, you want to photograph your kids' hockey game, picture family photos, the math and the physics behind the camera are the same no matter what you're shooting. And once you understand that, the whole world of the camera kind of opens up. And I would say I would say every workshop I've ever done, I see everyone has a moment at some point in the weekend where it clicks, right? There's a switch that kind of goes off and they go, oh, okay, I get this now. It makes sense. And then when you go read the manual or you watch that YouTube video, or you talk to that person who, now it all starts to make sense because you kind of know what you know now.
All right, Greg. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. So once again, October 26th and 27th is the Lloydminster Workshop. Again, as you said, only a few seats left. So what is the cost and where can people find the information to register?
Well, it's cameraadventures.ca, and the workshop is $395 for the 2 days. And like I said, I always guarantee that everyone is going to come out of there with better knowledge and understanding and getting great photos.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Greg, once again. And we look forward to having you here in Lloydminster. And hopefully there'll be a bunch of people that'll take some amazing pictures after this weekend.
Yeah, you may see some paparazzi on the streets over the next few days.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg.
Let's take a look at your adorable animals in our pet pics of the day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
The Mystic Moonlight Market is coming up this weekend. Jackson Fontaine had the chance to talk to the organizers of the event.
So I'm happy to be joined here today by Tammy Hopegray and Kevin Jackson, who are the organizers of the Mystic Moonlight event. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome.
So tell me a little bit about the Mystic Moonlight Market.
Well, the Mystic music that we got started out last spring, and it's a 2-day event. It's Friday from 1 to 9 o'clock in the evening, and then Saturday from 10 to 5. There's a whole array of different vendors that have different products that they're selling. There's different readers that are coming in, and also healers that are coming in to do some healing work and do that. Yeah. And the event is all about bringing people together and celebrating the full moon energy and that kind of thing. So it's very exciting then.
How can people participate in this event? Is it tickets or can people just kind of walk in?
Well, we have it. We have it's a free admission, and we have tickets on Eventbrite that you can buy, that you can purchase, and that you don't purchase them; they're free. But if you present your ticket at the show, we have a free gift for you. So that's one way to get a ticket. Other than that, you just come on down. We're at the south parking lot of the Border Inn and Suites, and
in the Crown Ballroom.
And the Crown Ballroom at the back of the building. Yeah, it's free admission. Everyone welcome.
Why do you guys have this event?
Well, the why. The why is to foster connection, growth, and abundance through shared experiences and collective energy. We're trying to build a community of connection. In this world of uncertainty, people just need love. Love is the answer to everything. And where do you start? I don't know where to start, but we started at this market. We were encouraged by fellow people in the industry saying, we need to do this. Lloydminster needs this now. And so we decided to do a show. And like Kevin mentioned, we did a show back in June, and we had such overwhelming responses to that we got this one rolling for October. And we continue the momentum. And yeah, we're just on the love train. We're on the love train, and this is the whole point. Bring community and connection.
What are some unique items that you guys have seen at this event?
We have lots of mystical products like crystals, jewelry, candles, spiritual tools. And we have there's a lot of treatments there. There's going to be somebody there with an iTerra wand that can do some energy changing there. We have authors there, and lots of crafters, witches, if you will, that create some things and stuff like that. There'll be a lot of toolkits and crystals and sage and all kinds of very talented people under the roof there.
Why do you think it is important to have an event like this in Lloydminster specifically?
It's the place to be. Lloydminster, the border city in Canada. We love it out here. And we do a lot. We do go to a lot of events outside in other communities, and it's really nice to see those communities and the connection, and feel that Lloyd is sort of missing that. And Lloyd's been kind of a transient city all these years just because of the nature of the industry. And so it's changing, it's evolving, and we've got people here for a long time, and people are starting to settle in more, and we want to be a part of that.
Well, I can't wait to hear about how the market goes, and hopefully it goes well. Thanks for taking the time to do this today, Tammy and Kevin.
Well, thank you for calling out, and let's meet this weekend. We'd like to see you down there. Check it out.
Coming up after the break, our Lane Hoffert will have another look at our evening weather forecast.
Welcome back. We're going to take another look here at your windy weather here in Lloydminster. You can see still 43-kilometer-an-hour winds, 10 degrees, but that wind is making it feel like 6 degrees, and a cloudier day out, but the sky is a very beautiful blue out. Now, throughout the region, you can see kind of those same temperatures. Athabasca and Whitecourt, 7 degrees. Cold Lake and Edson, 8 degrees, Jasper 6, Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer 9, and Edmonton 10 degrees. Now looking over in Saskatchewan, Meadow Lake is 10 degrees, Prince Albert and North Battleford 11, Melfort 10, and Saskatoon 12. Moving up north, Uranium City, La Loche, and Buffalo Narrows are all 7 degrees, Wollaston Lake 6 degrees, Stony Rapids 8 degrees, South End Reindeer and Flin Flon are both 9. In northern Alberta, high levels getting a little bit cooler, 3 degrees, Fort Chipewyan 5, Peace River and Fort McMurray 6, Slave Lake 7 degrees, and Grand Prairie 9 degrees. Moving down south, Banff is 5 degrees, Coronation 9, Calgary 10, Lethbridge and Medicine Hat both 11, along with Kindersley there and Moose Jaw both 11 in Saskatchewan, Yorkton, Swift Current, and Estevan 10 degrees, and Regina 9 degrees in southern Saskatchewan. Now North Battleford tonight is going to get down to -1. It will be a clear night out and certainly not as windy as it is here in Lloydminster. Going to be a nice day out tomorrow tonight in Cold Lake. It's going to be -1, breezy and otherwise clear. Going to get up to, or going to have 19-kilometer-an-hour winds. But it should be a nice night out, a little bit cooler, but no clouds in the sky. You can see the moon and all of the stars. Tonight in Lloydminster, it's going to be -1, breezy in the evening, otherwise partly cloudy and 19-kilometer-an-hour winds. So very similar to North Battleford and Cold Lake. Now looking throughout the region, you can see everybody's kind of having similar nights there. A lot of clear skies, you know, little bit of clouds here and there. Meadow Lake 0, Bonnyville -1, Provost and Paradise Hill -2, and Isle Cross 1 degree. Now looking at some other temperatures throughout the region. Mirnam -2 along with Unity there, Pierceland -1, and Wainwright and Calgary both -3. Again, clear to little bit cloudy skies throughout. Now taking a look at your forecast here, 3-day forecast. Friday will be breezy in the morning there, 12 degrees is the high. Saturday it's going to be mild with variable cloudiness, 16 degrees as a high, and Sunday we're going to get a little bit of that rain, 40% chance of a afternoon shower with a high of 10 there. Definitely cloudy. It's looking to be a cloudy weekend. We're not getting any of that snow yet, which is fortunate. Those lows are getting close to 0. On Sunday, the low will be -1 there, so it will be actually below 0.
Yeah, it is getting to those colder temperatures, but overall for the month of October at least, we definitely could be experiencing worse weather for this time of year. Like it could have already been snowing and stuff like that. So the worst that we have to deal with being the wind. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely can't complain about that. October is always kind of a wild card there. You never really know what to expect.
Exactly.
So
no.
We're on the good end of the stick this year.
Definitely in for a cold November probably, though.
Oh, I bet.
And that's all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks for watching and have a great night.